Alright, so here's the third one, the third video, final chapter of this practice. And let's go ahead and I'm going to fix this right here. I forgot to put my fillet in there. So one thing I've got to be careful of, I've got to put an extra line in here. It doesn't super matter how long it is, just as long as it's overlapping right here. I'll do the same thing down below. Just going to go to the midpoint. And I'm doing that because when I make a fillet, it will delete one of the lines, and I don't want it to delete this full line. I'd rather it just, kind of merge with this line here. So I'll go fillet. I'm going to specify the radius, and that's 0.5 on this one. On the other one, I think it's only 0.25. Click here and there. Looks good. And I'll click here. Oh, sorry. Right click and repeat fillet. Make sure that it's still on 0.2 or 0.5. It is good. So I'm going to click this line here and this line there. Perfect. So those lines should still be visible, the two that are on there. All right, so putting dimensions on these is kind of tricky. So if we go to the Annotate tab, all of these are automatically going to go yellow, meaning that they are in the dimensions layer, which is good. So I'm going to click dimension, and I'm going to worry about these center marks and stuff first. I'm going to show you that it's a little finicky. In Inventor, it's way easy to do this. In AutoCAD, it's a little less so. So I click here, and then I click here. Oh, actually that worked. Okay, great. That's usually doesn't work that well for me, so maybe I was just wrong. So click there. What I was going to show you is that sometimes you have to specify the centers of the geometry. So if I were to go Dimension Tool, I'd have to shift right click and say center, and click like right here, and then I'd have to do the same thing to like this. Shift right click. Oh, and then if we're doing like the hexagon, I can do geometric center because it's not actually a circle. Click there, and then go up like that. So anyway, I guess they both work. So, but this is convenient because I'm going to have to do it this way as well. Anyway, so I'll just place that one. Great. So let's move on to this next one down here. I'm going to ignore this one. You don't actually need to put any dimensions on that one. That one just is kind of on its own. So I'm going to go dimension again. I'm going to click here, and let's go to this one. Come straight down. That. And then let's go ahead and go here to here again, but then we're going to come this way. And notice I'm going to try and make these line up like that. Looks good. And we're in good shape with that. So up here, I can get some other linear ones. Let's go Dimension Tool. I'm just going to click on, I can either do 2 points or just a flat edge like this and pull that out. So I'll show you the other way right here. That also works and is totally fine. Love it. And next, let's do our diameter. So the diameter is applied only to full circles, not to arcs. So I'll go to diameter, click here. So this one come up top a little bit, do diameter and come down here. Oh, sorry, dimension down here. Right click, enter, or just click the enter button. And that looks good. So now we're ready to do our fillets and our arcs. So under diameter, we have to click the down drop and go to radius. Click there. I'll click this one and say, boom, that looks good. I'll go down to this second one. Radius. I'm going to leave it right in here. And I can right click and say, repeat radius dimension, and right there. Awesome. And then up here, I guess this one's a little funny. This one's actually done a little differently. From here to here, I'm going to go with my linear dimensions are just smart dimension like that. I'll click this and this. That's going to show that this is 0.5. Right-click, enter. And notice that this placed the number up on top. We can move those numbers pretty easily. I click once, then I click on the dot next to the number. I can say, hey, I want this to actually go down here instead. Or if I want this to not go so far that way, click here and kind of shrink it down like that. And then call that good. Hit escape. Cool. All right. So let's see. The next little bit here is a little tricky. You're going to see some weird things like this that just look really gross. There's 3 different examples of these are tolerances, and they have to do. This one has to do with being perpendicularity. This one is with centricity. I think that one is as well. So let's just start with this top one up here, and let me show you how to make these. They're actually really easy. They look like they're tough. Believe me, they're a piece of cake. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to type in tolerance, so T-O-L, and it's automatically going to pull this up. I'm going to click once. It's going to be the leading symbol, the tolerance, and then the datums. These are like the A, B, and C and all that stuff. So on that first one, it's the symbol was perpendicularity, and I don't remember the value they put in there. Let's see. I have to go back and check. 0.002 and then A. So I'm going to go, I can type it in. Oh, I'm in the wrong one again. Model. Tolerance. Symbol perpendicularity. 0.002. And my datum is capital A. And I click OK. There it is. Super easy. And I'll just leave it close to this 0.5. And notice that it's automatically it's in orange, which means it's going to think that this is an object line, which isn't good. So I can go back to home, click on this and say, hey, you're supposed to be a dimension, and now we're in good shape. Okay. All right, so let's see. The next is this one right below it. This one is centricity with a diameter of 0.003, then A, B, and C are all the extra datums. So in here, type in tolerance, and it is centricity, diameter 0.003, and it has A, oops, caps lock, A, no, A, B, and C. Okay. And same thing, it's trying to make it an object, so I'm going to turn this into dimension. So I got to click it afterwards. So I'll click it and then turn it into dimension. There we go. Okay. And then over here, do that same thing. And this one is diameter, or sorry, centricity, diameter 0.002, and A. So I'm going to, oh, wrong one. So I'll go back here and type in tolerance. It's the first one. Centricity, diameter 0.002, and it only had A, if I remember right. I'll click OK. Oh, looks good. All right, so you might have noticed that in addition to having this right there, there's also this little deal where it has a limit dimension. You might have noticed as well that some of these other dimensions are in boxes. Those are called basic dimensions. So those ones can be edited fairly easily as well. So if I go back to my drawing, I'll do the basic ones first because they are basic and they're easier than the others. So it looks like there's only 2 of those. Yep. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on this, right-click, Properties, and it's going to say Dim Style. I click on that one, hit the down drop. Oh, oops, let's not quite that one. Just kidding. So it always takes me a minute to find center tolerance. It's display. Okay. Yeah, so it's under tolerance, under display. I'll just say basic, and then that will change that for me. So I can hit escape. Let's click this next one, which I believe was the 1.5. Say, hey, I want this to also be my basic. That. Escape. Great. And then the last one is over here, and this one's a little trickier. I'm going to click on that one. And this one needs to be not a basic, but limit. So notice that the limit now has two numbers above and below. So I need to make that value match what is shown in the example. I'm going to try and move this. So that one in the example is it's 3.505. So it can be a 0.005 greater but not less than. So it's a unilateral limit dimension. So I'm going to click here, right click again to get to properties, go all the way down to this part. So it says lower limit 0.00, which is fine. That means it can't go above or below. Upper limit, I'm going to type in 0.005. And then notice when I click out of this, it makes this a 1. So it doesn't look quite the same. That's because it's been rounded. So what I've got to do is where it says tolerance precision, I got to hit this down drop and go to the 3 decimal places, and now it will show up as the example does, just like that. Cool. And now we are almost done. We are super close. So we've got these boxes over here. We just need A, B, and C. I'm going to move these and attach them to the appropriate dimensions that are shown in the example. So this first one, A, goes on the one we just did. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to click and highlight this baby, and I'm going to see if this moves this. Yep. Well, let's see. Nope, didn't work. Okay. I'm going to try that again. I'm going to click right here, highlight all of this, and then use the Move tool. It's going to say where do you want to use. I'm going to say this little part right here. That's good. Now it's moving the way I want it to. I may need to deselect my ortho so it can move freely. And I'm going to attach this right there. That looks good. And nice. And then the next one is C, goes on this surface down here. So I'm going to go over here to C. I'm going to click this, move. And, oh, actually, you know what? I think I've got it backwards. I think B goes down there. So I'm going to click, I think the example says C, but I think it's supposed to be B. Click there and move. It's going to come down. We're going to just drop it right there. Notice my dimension is overlapping a little bit, so I'm going to stretch it out so it's not in the way. And then our last one, I believe, goes to that. Let's double check. Oh, it does not. B goes up here. So I think I've got it mixed up again. So I'm actually going to delete these ones. So I think these ones actually associate with the actual assignment. So I'm just going to copy this one and then change the letters. So I'm going to go Control C, Control V. I'm going to drop this one right here, so it lines up with the arrow. And then I can double click on the letter and say, let's make this, or actually I think B is correct now. I'm all sorts of confused. So I got B, and then this one should be C. So I'm going to type in the letter backspace first, and then C, and enter. Yep. Okay. All right, so I think we're in good shape. So we've got our final exam half scale over here. This looks like everything. Again, this is not the exact same as the one in the example or in your assignment. This one's just a shadow example that's very similar and will help you. It's almost the same shape. You just have to be careful about the dimensions and then some of the geometry. But all of the same principles are applied to both. And it looks like the last step is going to be changing the name right here. So you can say this was drawn by highlight right here, and in all caps, so write your name. So let's say Joe Dirt, and then and say yes. And over here for the date, we'll just type in the traditional format of just let's say it's like 0100, oops, sorry, slash 01 slash like I don't know 25, and escape, and yes. So happy New Year's, everybody. Anyway, that is how you do it. So we've got this. It's looking good, and to submit it, you just go up here to where it says print, and we're going to change this to Microsoft Print to PDF, and the default 11 by 17 is fine. This is a tabloid, and we'll go ahead and click OK. It'll ask us where to save it, and then you can submit it on Canvas, and that would be it. So that's it. Good work, guys. That is a lot of work. So if you made it to this point, you have well earned the extra credit, and I am very proud of you. So good job, and thanks for watching.